Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Disidore here. May not look like me. I have no makeup on, threw my hair up in a messy bun, but I didn't want to miss our read aloud for today. What is? Today is Thursday, April 2nd. And for our fourth and fifth grade read aloud, I am reading Skellig. Okay, and we're up to chapter 6. So far, Michael is moved into a new home, which needs a lot of work. It's a little run down, especially the garage in the back of the house. It's almost falling down. His parents don't like him in there because they feel it's dangerous, but he's very interested in going in there. It has a lot of things in it, and he found he thinks some man that's actually living inside there, but he's not sure. He kind of said to himself, no, it's a dream. He doesn't believe what he saw. We also know that he does go to the same school, even though he's moved, so he still has his friends. And I think that's where we left off. And oh, the baby. The baby's home, but the baby came too early, and she had a lot of problems when she was in the hospital, and she still isn't quite right. So let's see what happens with chapter 6. At home, there was a hole in the floor where Ernie's toilet had been. It was filled with new cement. The plywood screen had gone. Ernie's old gas fire had been taken away, and there was just a square black gap behind the hearth. The floor was soaking wet, and it stank of disinfectant. Dad was filthy and wet and grinning. He took me into the backyard. The toilet was standing there in the middle of the weeds and grass. "Thought it'd make a nice garden seat for us," he said. The gas fire and the plywood were down by the garage door, but they hadn't been taken inside. He looked at me and winked. "Come and see what I found." He led me down to the garage door. "Hold your nose," he said. He bent down and started to open a newspaper. "Ready?" It was a parcel of birds, 4 of them. "Found them behind the fire. Must have gotten stuck in the chimney and couldn't get out again." You could make out that 3 of them were pigeons because of their gray and white feathers. The last one was pigeon-shaped, but it was all black. "This was the last one I found," he said. "It was under a heap of soot and dust that had fallen down the chimney." "Is it a pigeon as well?" "Yes, been there a long, long time, that's all." He took my hand. "Touch it. Feel it. Go on, it's okay." I let him hold my fingers against the bird. It was hard as stone. Even the feathers were as hard as stone. "Been there so long it's nearly a fossil," he said. "It's as hard as stone," I said. "That's right, hard as stone." I went and washed my hands in the kitchen. "Today was okay?" he said. "Yeah, Leaky and Coots said they might come over on Sunday." "That's good. You managed the buses okay then?" I nodded. "Might be able to drive you there next week," he said, "once we're sorted out a bit." "It's okay," I said. "Mrs. Dando asked about the baby." "You told her she was fine?" "Yes," I said. "Good. Go get a Coca-Cola and a sandwich or something. I'll make tea when the others come home." Then he went upstairs to have a bath. I looked down through the backyard. I waited for ages, listening to Dad's bath water banging its way through the pipes. I got my flashlight off the kitchen shelf. My hands were trembling. I went out, past Ernie's toilet, the fire, and the dead pigeons. I stood at the door and switched the flashlight on. I took a deep breath and tiptoed inside. I felt the cobwebs and the dust. I imagined that the whole thing would collapse. I heard things scuttling and scratching. I edged past the rubbish and the ancient furniture, and my heart was thudding and thundering. I told myself I was stupid. I told myself I'd been dreaming. I told myself I wouldn't see him again. But I did. So he wasn't dreaming. What he saw was really there. Now, a question I forgot. Did the baby go back? The baby's at home, correct? Yeah, I think the baby's still home. Okay. All right, so he went back into the garage, thinking what he saw would just be all a dream, but he sees him again. Let's go on to chapter 7. I leaned over the tea chests and shined the flashlight, and there he was. He hadn't moved. He opened his eyes and closed them again. "You again," he said in a cracked, squeaky voice. "What you doing there?" I whispered. He sighed, like he was sick of death to everything. Nothing, he squeaked. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I watched a spider scrambling across his face. He caught it in his fingers and popped it in his mouth. They're coming to clear the rubbish out, I said, and the whole place could collapse. He sighed again. Got an aspirin? An aspirin? Never mind. His face was pale as dry plaster. His black suit hung like a sack on his thin bones. My heart pounded. The dust was clogging my nostrils and throat. I chewed my lips and watched him. You're not Ernie Myers, are you? I said. That old coot? Coughing his guts out and spewing everywhere? Sorry, I whispered. What do you want? He said. Nothing. You got an aspirin? No. Thanks very much. What will you do? I said. They'll clear the place out. It'll collapse. What'll... Nothing. Go away. I listened for noises from outside, for them calling me. You could come inside, I said. He laughed, but he didn't smile. Go away, he whispered. He picked another bug from the front of his suit and popped it into his mouth. Is there something I could bring you? I said. An aspirin, he squeaked. Something you like to eat? I said. 27 and 53. What? Nothing. Go away. Go away. I backed away, out into the light. I brushed the dust and bugs and cobwebs off. I looked up and saw Dad through the frosted glass of the bathroom window. I could just hear him singing in the shower. Are you the new boy here? Said somebody. I turned around. There was a girl's head sticking up over the top of the wall into the back lane. Are you the new boy? She repeated. Yes. I'm Mina. I stared at her. Well? She said. What? She clicked her tongue and shook her head and said in a bored-sounding sing-song voice, I'm Mina. You're... Oh, Michael, I said. Good. Then she jumped back, and I heard her land in the lane. Nice to meet you, Michael, she said through the wall. Then she ran away. Okay, so in these chapters, he goes back into the garage, sneaks back in, and he has a conversation with this man or this being that's eating bugs. So weird. And has this pale, pale face. I don't know. And then, so he's asking for aspirin, like medicine, and he's also asking for 27 and 53. I don't know what that is. And he also meets a new girl from the neighborhood, Mina. So that's where we are left off. So hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed these chapters. Have a great night, and till next time.